Okay, so let's do our first example. So what we're going to have is we're going to have two triangles. Junk, 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 junk. And I'm going to say that this is x, and this is 45, whatever units. It could be centimeters, meters, but we're just going to keep it as units. And this will be 6, 7, 8. And we don't know if they're similar triangles. Let's make them similar triangles. So we're going to say that this angle is the same as this angle. This angle is the same as this angle. And I don't really have to mark the third because if two angles are the same, then the third angle is the same. Okay, so step one is we have to mark the corresponding sides. So arc and star, that's green and green. Orange, arc and blank, orange and orange. And red and red. Okay, so we marked our corresponding sides. Now we're going to choose one triangle to be our number one triangle. So the triangle that's going to be on top of our formula. And generally we're going to put the triangle that has an x in it. Sometimes you'll have a situation where both triangles have an x, in which case it matters a little less. But essentially I'm going to call this triangle, so this is going to be triangle number 1, and that's going to be triangle number 2. So our formula is green 1 over green 2 equals red 1 over red 2, which is equal to orange 1 over orange 2. So let's put some numbers into this thing. So green 1, the green side on the first triangle, is 45. So that's going to be 45 over, and the green side on that one is 8, equals. The red on the first one, we don't know actually. We don't know what the length of this red side on the first triangle, but that's okay. And the red side of that triangle is 7. Orange on the first one is x, and orange on the second one is 6. Now we have 3 things, but we're not going to use all 3 things. We're going to use 2 of them. So we want to pick one of the fractions that has an x and the other fraction that we know everything of. And so if we look at this one's kind of useless. So we're not actually going to use that one. We're just going to use these 2. So what we have is, putting it together, we have 45 over 8 equals x over 6. And then we just have to solve this thing. How do we solve it? We're going to multiply both sides by 6. And so we're going to get, these will cancel. We're going to get x equals 6 times 45 over 8. So we get our handy calculator. 6 times 45 equals, divided by 8, and that's 33.75. So x is 33.75. And there we go. So these similar triangles over here, if this is x and this is 45 and it's similar to this triangle of 6, 7, 8, we can see that this x over here is 33.75. And that's that example over there. Example 2. Okay, we'll call this this, and we'll put that over there. And we'll say x 32, 11, 15, 18. Okay, are these triangles similar? They're similar because these angles are the same, those angles are the same. 2 angles are the same. That means that these are similar triangles. So what we're going to do now is we are going to color in the corresponding sides. star in the angle, star in the angle. Angle and nothing, angle and nothing. Red and red. Now if you could look and you could decide which colors are going to be the right ones to use, you could go right to that already. All right, so in this case, I'm going to write all three, but you don't necessarily have to. Which triangle is going to be triangle number 1? I'm going to say that this is triangle number 1. I'm going to say that this is triangle number 2 because this one has the X in it. So that's what I want to use as triangle number 1. So my formula is going to be green 1 over green 2, which is X over 11. I'm going to save myself some marker switching here. Is red 1 over red 2. Red 1 is 32. Red 2 is 15. The red of the second triangle. And that should be equal to orange 1 over orange 2. Orange 1 is we have no idea, so we're not going to use that fraction. It's going to be this one. So that one becomes useless, and these other two we're going to try to use to figure it out. So doing that in. So what we have is we have X over 11 equals 32 on 15. We're going to multiply both sides by 11. Chink, chink. And X equals 32 times 11 over 15. And we know the trick for multiplying by 11. You just add up the numbers and put it in the middle. So it'll be 354 over 15. Which is 23.46. 4666, so on. Which we're just going to write as 23.5. And that would be the length of X on the second example.